No. Plus, repressed emotional baggage was only worth 2 points on the rubric. And is it supposed to be that color?
Murder Drones, the big new show all the animation geeks are talking about today. Well, not all of them that is, but this show has definitely gotten a fan following recently and in such a short amount of time as well. The first episode released back in October 29th of 2021 and it has amassed a whopping 15 million views. I only got into it recently, at the time of writing the script in fact, and while the series is still in production, with more episodes to come out in the future, I still wanted to give this show a proper look after hearing so much about it both online and through friends, saying it was really cool and incredible. So does it hold up? Well, it certainly tries. The first episode is called The Pilot, which usually means it'll have a lot of exposition and setup. I was expecting this. And indeed it does start with exposition, with our main character, Uzi, introducing the lore of this world.
Biological life wiped from the planet. We found it pretty easy to pick up where they left off.
Basically, robots eradicated humans and took over the world, becoming worker drones to develop this world. Some higher being kind of got pissed and created murder drones to kill the worker drones. The worker drones fear the murder drones, so they started fighting back. Most of this episode is focused on our protagonist, Uzi, introducing us to her life. She's kind of crazy. Her dad just wants her to behave and work well, but Uzi wants to take down the murder drones. At one point she goes out and encounters one of the murder drones, our second main character, simply called Anne. I hope you know your ABCs because every murder drone here is named after a letter. Anyways, they fight and then Anne has a glitch that causes him to become friendly, or something like that. He's basically super friendly and nice, though quite naive. Like, very naive.
I'm Serial Designation N. Nice to meet you. I'm kind of the leader of the squad in this city. That's not true. Everyone tells me I'm useless and terrible. Wait, I'm not supposed to tell you that part!
He isn't alone, of course, as he's got two other buddies of sorts. J and B. B is fucking crazy. Probably more so than Uzi herself, and loves to eat all of the worker drones she kills. Jay, meanwhile, is more of a gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss type of girl. A bit of an obvious manipulator, but a manipulator nonetheless. Character development and whatnot, Jay fucking kills Anne, don't worry, he's fine. And the girls break into the, building, workplace, some kind of area. They kill everyone there, and then Uzi tries to fight back. She almost fucking dies. Her father, who is a bit of a jerk but generally well-meaning, leaves her for dead, but then saves her. They both fight the girls again, emotional scene with Uzi's father, Uzi banishes herself as punishment. Turns out, Uzi might be going crazy due to a glitch of some sort. And that's the end. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, I explained that very quickly. I think one of my biggest issues with Murder Drones is its pacing. Now, Murder Drones is meant to be a sci-fi, mystery horror show, kind of like Gravity Falls in a way, as it leaves many of its details vague on purpose to build up a bigger story. But in order to do that correctly, you need to have the right pace in your own story to allow the audience to process it and the clues you're leaving in place. What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have to go to some theory channel to explain everything for you. One good example of bad pacing I found is the scene where Uzi and Anne talked. It basically immediately skipped to the scene of them going back to the door station area in such an awkward and sudden flash that it's really weird. The pace isn't my only issue with the show though. Some scenes have a weird tone in them, or something that is out of place that just kills the mood of the scene.
Also, how do you know my name? People willingly talk to you.
Well, I'd say everyone knows Khan's daughter, but then you might blow the other half of your face off.
And unfortunately, this issue goes on to the other episodes as well, as there are moments where what will be an emotional or dramatic scene gets completely ruined by a stupid one-liner from someone like Uzi or Anne. It almost feels like they force the jokes upon you and it doesn't work. Sometimes it's so bad that a scene that I meant to take seriously just makes me laugh. Also, voice acting can be very jarring sometimes, especially with the way Uzi's father has this strange inflection that, while funny, does not make me take him seriously.
I mean, she's a little herself, but damaged? I maybe haven't spent much time.
Now, am I meant to take these characters seriously? The show seems to say yes, since it has various moments that are meant to be serious and dramatic or otherwise very mysterious, including all of the gore that the series loves to use. But then it has scenes like Uzi throwing a stupid joke in the middle of a serious, life-threatening battle that just completely kills the pace of the episode.
Whoa. And they said pirating all that anime was useless.
Also, minor nitpick, but the way Jay dies at the end of the first episode is just so goofy.
More buzzword and I'll do it.
Equity partners.
It made me laugh more than it made me cheer for Uzi in that moment. Speaking of characters though, let's talk about them. Uzi is your general angsty teenager main character. She wishes to defeat the murder drones as revenge for them taking her mother. And his father too.
Whoa. Hey!
Goodbye, Dad.
But don't worry, he's totally fine. I like Uzi. She's a well-meaning person with some very, very bad problems, but she generally wants to fix all of this mess and make her work better. It took me some time to get used to her, but I eventually liked her. She plays off well from that goofball that is N, probably the single nicest murder drone to ever exist thus far. He's such a lovable goofball that, while his humor can be forced sometimes, and I definitely think he's the worst case of humor put in a serious scene syndrome that this whole series has, he really plays off well from Uzi, and the two of them can make a good duo together. My main issue with him is that it's been shown that he can regenerate his own body. So whenever he sacrifices himself for Uzi, it doesn't hit as you think it will due to this, because he'll always be fine due to this ability that he has. Of course, I can't talk about N without mentioning his, buddies.
Questioning the company? You just finally gave me the excuse I needed. Worker drones are corrupted, and that's why the company sent us.
Yeah, I like JMB, although for different reasons. V is psychotic, but very quickly shows a much tamer side to her. Though it all seems to be a front to hide her more psychotic tendencies.
That's weird and concerning.
Bite me! This is probably you weirdo's fault! I've never seen that symbol before.
Wanna do an autopsy to find out?
In a lot of ways, she acts like a little sibling to N, and it's adorable. And then, we have Jay.
Jay's awesome.
Good lord, I did not care for her at first, but she very quickly became a threat in episode 2. Being the main threat in fact, in a very macabre yet sick reference to GLaDOS from Portal. She's definitely a great villain and I hope we see more of her, although I would have definitely preferred she kept this fucked up monster design rather than being rebuilt. My main issue with her is that they shouldn't have made her so bratty during this monstrous GLaDOS-like form in episode 2. Her threatening aura quickly went away the moment she began talking like a teenager schoolgirl while looking like this.
It's not time. Time to go into my mouth now. Ow. And please don't. And also, I was using those.
Like seriously, come on man. There are a few more characters, like Uzi's dad, who I don't care about, and also Doll, episode 3's villain, who is also really fucking cool. Also, she's Russian. She has an amazing accent that sounds super threatening no matter what she says.
Oh, do you ever clean?
Я повесила простынь. Они спят.
So yeah, I do like most of the characters, but one of my biggest criticisms with the characters is their designs. God, why are their mouths in front? With the worker drones they look fine, and they don't look that terrible in most scenarios. But why do they have to do this with the murder drones? This is why I feel like the show would work better in a 2D style rather than the 3D style it utilizes. The way murder drones' mouths are spread to show them being feral is just incredibly silly and stupid. It makes me laugh at them more than it makes me fear them. However, despite their mouths being dumb, I do want to highlight all of their eyes. They are so expressive and cute despite being so simple, and I enjoy looking at them. For such simple designs, they can express so much with just their eyes, without needing to emote anything with the mouth or even their body. Alright, I know I did bash this show a lot for the past few minutes, but now let's get to some praise. I adore all of the fight scenes in this show, even from the pilot. They are very well choreographed and have some really sick action, including effects. However, I wish they weren't interrupted by one-liners sometimes, like I said before.
Lifesavers again! Thanks! Super invited to my shindig next weekend. Cool kids only.
The music is fitting for the atmosphere the show is set in and helps to set the tone for most scenes. I say most as sometimes a scene that feels serious or sad has a really weird music choice, like the example with episode 1 of Uzi talking with a classmate. For battle scenes, in just the general aesthetic of the show however, the music works really great. Finally, I do enjoy the plot that the show is trying to build up, even if it has a lot of flaws. The use of gore definitely helps sell the fear value of murder drones. These guys get dismembered, decapitated, demolished. It's like Samurai Jack where they can get away with this stuff because they are robots, except these ones are actually alive and can feel, unlike the ones in Samurai Jack where they are just droids sent by a crew trying to destroy Jack without trying to worry about their emotional effect and all of that stuff. I really love it. It's not a main selling point of Murder Drones as it isn't a gore-centric show, but it helps a lot for sure, especially in the action and effects department. Overall, Murder Drones is a pretty flawed show, but it's not terrible by any means. Maybe it isn't my kind of show, or maybe I'm expecting too much from a show where robots just kill each other for the sake of killing each other. But whatever the case, I'm interested in seeing where the story goes, and what other things are introduced in this wacky little world of robots. I may not think it's an amazing show like others of its kind, but it certainly has potential. Potential which I hope future episodes realize. But what do you think? How do you feel about Murder Drones? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below, respectfully of course. I'll definitely do a follow-up responding to your comments in future episodes for sure. Until then, thank you for watching and have a great day.
Shut up, you stupid bitch! Hi-ya!